what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran, and I'm going to be doing a twin flame reading today, alright? It's going to be a weekly update for you guys, for the Divine Feminines and the Masculines, okay? So it's going to be both of your guys' energy, your head and your heart space, and then the outcome, okay? And then maybe some guidance cards from the Nature Speak Oracle. Wow. Not a very creative title, but I might pull from this deck as well. Anyway, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Today is November 3rd. Daylight savings if you live in America, and I don't know why we still do it, but we do. So congratulations to us for having the clocks. What did they go back? I don't even know. I don't care. I don't know what's going on. But I do know that I'm gonna do this reading, and it's gonna be great. Okay, so this is for the week of basically from now until the 10th, right? November 10th. So near future energy, okay? So we'll just get an update for Twin Flames, and so you guys know what's going on, all right? Cool. All right, guys, so let me just start with the masculine energy, all right? And then we'll go from there, okay? Perfect. So, dear guides, please, what is going on with the masculine energy right now and in the near future? All right, so first card that we got, there's actually some stuff on the way there, but first card that we got is the Hierophant, right? So this is basically suggesting that what they're going through right now energetically is actually a rite of passage. It's also very traditional, right? It speaks to going through more of an energy of kind of like, I mean, it is kind of like a marriage card, but in an energy way, it's more about being, you know, in a traditional sense of going along with the motions, right? As masculines are kind of more 3D than the feminines would be, so they're a little bit more grounded in that type of energy rather than trying to do something spiritual. But the Hierophant is about, you know, kind of connecting to your spirit guides and about going through a rite of passage. And as you can see, you know, it's about you know, these birds here guarding a key, right, which would represent some type of knowledge or wisdom, right? So essentially, they're going through a rite of passage right now, which is completely, you know, they're being guided by their guides in the universe and stuff like that. But they're also really where they're at right now is where they're supposed to be, and they're basically going through kind of like trials in a way. It doesn't have to be necessarily negative, but it is something that they're going through, which is actually for the greater benefit of them, for you, and then of course the relationship in general, right? Which is also a good benefit for humanity. Because as hard as it might be to understand, the pain that you go through now is actually helping other people, okay? Which is the greatest point of it, okay? So we're going to keep going here. But it's just saying that what they're going through right now energetically is a time of rites of passages, and they're just, you know, they're going through, I kind of get the image that they're going through the motions, but we'll see what other cards I can get around it, yeah? Okay, so then we have the Ace of Wands. This is talking about a new beginning, as any ace indicates. Feathers here, white feathers representing a Robert Zemeckis film. But also about purity, innocence, stuff like that. But Ace of Wands is about passion, okay? This crow sitting on top of this wand here, looking out at the city skyline, cityscape, and, you know, literally being able to go wherever they want, essentially, right? It's a new beginning. It's an opportunity to do something. So next to the Hierophant is about saying that while they're going through this rite of passage, it's essentially leading them to be able to make their own choices, to be able to decide where to go. And there's going to be this new energy and this new, even this new sexual, creative energy, right, from the sacral chakra, right? Because the Ace of Wands is always about phallic symbols and stuff like that. It's about male fertility, vitality, stuff like that. So it's always about being able to begin, again, to have this new energy, right? So there's this new energy going on with them in the coming weeks here that's going to enable them to really get their life going again, right? What else is going on with the masculine energy? Okay, so next we have the King of Swords. So this would be them in this case. King of Swords, someone that's very logical, using their mind to make decisions rather than their heart. Somebody that's not necessarily cold or judgmental, but somebody very secure in his decisions and really doesn't take any take any BS, right? Very kind of like the Queen of Swords, right? Not as cutting as the Queen of Swords, but the King of Swords is very authoritative. Okay, so they make decisions just based on their mind, and they stick to those decisions, right? So it's really about the choices that they're going to be making. Energetically, they're going to be more capable, okay? More able to make rational decisions, and using that energy that they're going to be getting to start making choices about their life that actually serve them in a better way. It's also kind of, I get the image of like them cutting out people that don't serve them. What else is going on with the masculine energy? We have strength, right? So there you go. So that's basically talking about courage, right? Having the grace to temper your emotions, right? So them having the energy to move forward in this connection, they're becoming stronger with the types of things that they're going through at this time. So, and then having it as another major arcana is this more of a bigger cycle going on, right? Which is behind the scenes type of energy, right? Minor arcana, very much day-to-day energy. But the strength card is about being able to move forward in a in a more brave kind of courageous way, facing your fears and having the strength of a lion, being able to do things, right, without thinking about the past. It's really the whole reading so far is really about moving forward. Okay? So it's positive energy for the masculines. Okay, and then finally, we have the Four of Wands, right? Which is that twin flame kind of card. Not that there really does exist a card just for twin flames, but this is like a good indicator of that relationship, right? Because it's about union. It's the four, you have the couple there, and you have these two birds doing what I assume is kissing. I hope it's kissing. I don't want to know what it is if it isn't, but that's what's going on. Four of Wands is about success, celebration, having your feelings declared, weddings, okay? It's really about a cause to rejoice, okay? It's a very, very good fortune card, okay? One of the better ones in the deck. So, as an energy altogether, it's almost like what they're going through at this time, this Hierophant energies. It's about going through some type of challenges, going through some trials and tribulations, and dealing with them, right? Having to go through it as governed and destined by the universe, right? Which outside of their control, outside of your control, okay? It's just happening for a reason. Ace of Wands, King of Swords, really about that being able to have this new energy to make decisions. So it's like whatever they're going through right now, it could be a myriad of things. Okay, it could be deeply personal, could be karmic relationships, because you have that traditional type of thing going on there. Whatever they're going through is going to lead them towards some new energy, new beginnings, which is going to lead them to make choices, right? Logical choices about cutting things out, because the sword is about cutting, right? And then having the strength to really, to come forward and do what they need to do in regards to this relationship that they're in, the spiritual connection that they have with you, the feminine, this twin flame connection, and basically be in an energy of reciprocity and being in a celebratory kind of good energy, right? Because it's all leading towards this Four of Wands energy, which is a very passionate, positive energy, okay? So that's really where they're at right now, and this is just indicating, they're definitely in a Hierophant energy right now, but I would look towards the month of November for them to really start getting this into this Ace of Wands type of energy, right? Because though this is for a week, and I try not to do these twin flame readings every single day, and truthfully I've been slacking on these videos. I said this in another video, and I would love to be able to do more videos where I'm just talking to the camera about different kinds of topics, because these things are, they're kind of timeless, but I don't, they're, I can think of the right words to say here. It's very, it can be very addictive, codependent, and also kind of deflating when you see videos like, oh, they're right around the corner, but you're always seemingly waiting at the corner with your lunch packed tight and nobody's ever coming, right? So I try not to do these readings all the time, and when I do, I just try to reiterate the fact that, don't focus too much. I know that I'm doing this as a weekly update for what's going on right now, but it's not supposed to, don't expect them to come back, by Sunday with this Four of Wands energy, right? Just saying that. I'm pretty sure most of you get it, but I don't think a lot of readers talk about that enough. Anyway, so moving on from that disclosure, I'm going to go into your energy now, okay? So this is divine feminine energy, all right? So, dear guides, what is going on with the feminine energy this week? And I almost said September. November is a very powerful month, guys. There's 11/11 this month, so make any wishes that you want on that day. Begin to start manifesting, because that's going to be next Monday, which is also Veterans Day, and which is also called Armistice Day, I guess. I'm looking at my calendar. I don't know if they're two different things. I assume they're the same. Okay, moving on. So, for you guys, we have what is this, 7? 7 of Wands, okay? 7 of Wands is about defending your position. So a lot of you guys right now might be feeling very defensive. Basically trying to, you're either trying to get to this position or we're being on top, and in order to do so, you have to, beat out your competitors because other people might want to be where you're at. Or you are there in some way emotionally, maybe in a job, creative-wise, wherever you are in your life, you might be feeling like you need to guard yourself and stand tall and be courageous, which is absolutely true. That's what you need to do. Well, this is a card about being in your power, okay? And so it's about, getting up every day, right? Because you are getting close to the end there, but it's about getting up every day and doing what needs to be done and not worrying about the people down here, right? The gossips and the negative talk. And, it also could be a metaphor for even within your own, battling your own demons, not letting them take control, right? So in that way, you guys might be feeling that way right now. A little bit of burdens going on, but definitely about being in your own power, right? Yesterday, I did Bufo, and I don't know if you guys know what Bufo is, but it's like a frog medicine. And I would love to meet the person who first decided that, licked the back of some fucking toad in the Amazon and saw the universe and was like, oh, I think I could do this for a living. But anyway, it's a very shamanistic type of medicine, and it's, I took it yesterday, caused a bunch of crazy shit. I was seeing stuff. I saw some jaguars, some trees, time slowed down. I couldn't feel my body anymore. I was seeing the people that I was working with. I was seeing their souls. Shit was intense. But the reason that I mention it is because, one, I'm also very tired because of it. I'm exhausted. But because with the 7 of Wands energy, there was moments within it where I felt the power of the universe. And being in a 7 of Wands is about being in that kind of standing tall and being in that energy. It helped me realize the things that I need to do. And helped me just get rid of a little bit of negativity, because I just was able to understand and see the universe and feel it, literally feel it. And it was very intense, and I resisted a lot of it, but my first time with that type of psychedelic. It's basically like a DMT. If you're not familiar with DMT, what it is a type of psychedelic that just fucks you up real good, okay? So, but not in a fun way. It's more like a very transformative way. So going through that type of energy was very interesting, but it definitely helped me appreciate what's going on here. So the 7 of Wands is very much a resonant kind of card with me, and so you guys might be, not to say that you have to go through some type of weird frog medicine to do this, but there might be some types of things going on in your life right now that are going to basically, that are going to support that feeling, or are going to help you make a choice in order to stand tall, right? Okay, so moving on, we have the Star card, which is Major Arcana. This is about hope. This is about, times might be tough right now for you guys, financially, emotionally, spiritually, sexually. I don't know. Maybe you guys aren't getting laid. I don't know. My sex life is like the Gobi Desert. So, whatever's going on, it's saying that things are going to get better, right? Things are going to look up, and there's always some type of hope and some type of faith to believe in, right? Because it is your faith that is going to help you conquer all your fears and help you conquer all your obstacles. Because as tough and difficult as it gets, being awakened essentially means having a deep intuitive understanding that things are going to be okay. And no matter how much you give into your ego mind, or no matter how much you suffer through your own perception and do things that you might not be in your best interest, you always have this inner knowing that your soul and the universe is going to take care of you. Okay? So there is that energy going on. It's also speaking about renewal. And November again is it's actually a very positive month, okay? Because October was really starting with a lot of burdens. It was a lot of completing cycles. And right now you might be trying to get things, in order, trying to end things so you can start new things. And November is really going to allow you to do that. It's kind of about blasting off, lifting off. A lot of changes happening, crazy shit going on. Okay, so a lot of that kind of stuff going on. All right, so that energy is coming in for you guys as well, which is very, very good. Star card is really just, it's there just to say you can have hope, faith is going to be renewed, and your hard work is going to pay off, right? Because look at that, you have the Wheel of Fortune. I couldn't make that up, right? This is about things changing, about the universe destiny stepping in, right? Reunions, things right when you need them to happen, events, right? So it's kind of funny, like and if you've been following me or watching my videos, you will understand or know that I have been trying to find a new place to live, right? Anyway, so it turns out that my roommate is moving out, and him moving out means that the place that I live, basically, my mother, who I live with, can't afford to pay the rent, right? So I live in Southern California, which, assumingly is super expensive to live here. Okay, I honestly think in order to have like an actual decent life here, you need to make like over 100K, because it's fucked up. But and so it's very so there's nobody to pay the rent here, and so so I think what's going to happen is she's moving, right? She might move back to Canada, which is where I was born, or she might move to a different state. But anyway, I have stuff to do here that I can't just leave, and I don't want to move with her. I don't have that type of relationship. I'd rather be on the streets at this point, honestly, than have to continue staying in this house. But the idea here, guys, is that this is kind of destiny coming in, right? Because I've been saying, like, I can't live here anymore. I've also had the feeling that this is too stagnant. The town itself doesn't even really serve me. It's not a lot of creative potential here. And so, I could move back to Ireland, or I could move to Ireland. I had, a passport. I would have no debt or anything. I could literally just start over. Or, whatever happens here, whatever happens, right? It's about that Wheel of Fortune energy. It's about things happening, about destiny stepping in, and like things are going to get better, right? So for me, there's a lot of confusion, a lot of questions, right? It's very hard for me sometimes lately to actually get up. Not like in a depressive way, but more in an exhausting way, right? I actually tried to shoot this video like 30 minutes ago, and I literally just started talking, and then I just stopped talking, and I was like, yo, this is fucking dumb. Like, I don't know. You ever like start talking and then you're just like, why am I talking? I don't even give a shit. Like I was in totally that energy. Like I've started conversations with people, and I was like, yeah, how badly do I want to talk to this fucking person? So anyway, it was kind of like that. But the Wheel of Fortune for you guys is really talking about that type of energy, right? It's about destiny stepping in, things getting better, fate starting to turn your way, luck being on your side, right? If you're in a state of being down on your luck, which I know that many of you are, even not necessarily down on your luck in a negative type of situation, but just looking for the wheels to start changing and getting some more momentum in your life. Well, the Wheel of Fortune is there to basically say, hey, guess what? Next couple of weeks, expect something to change, okay? Which is really great energy. That's really two great major arcanas to get, because Wheel of Fortune is a major arcana that's going to be lasting a little bit longer. So you're going to be getting some prolonged luck, momentum, tide shift, right? Yeah, look at that. You have the Knight of Wands, which literally is about events speeding up. Blockages being lifted, picking up the paces, getting busier, right? The crow here flying alongside the knight, or the horse here. That's talking about, the momentum is so great that all the crow can do to keep up with it is fly. It's not on top controlling it. It's just, flying along with it, right? So it's this very fast-paced energy. It's a really great card to get, especially for travel and opportunities, business, creative enterprises, and stuff like that. So this is basically suggesting your projects are going to be realized, and your goals are actually going to come in quite quickly, and you might not even expect how they're going to come in, okay? Because I will tell you something that I've learned in my own spiritual journey. A lot of the stuff that I've asked to manifest, though it might not have come exactly when I needed it, it has never come in the way that I expected it to, and it has always come completely out of the nowhere so quickly. Okay? Like, I'm talking as quick as the first time a man has sex. Like, it's just like, wow, that was it? That's how quick it's coming, okay? I said come. That's a pun. Anyway, so moving on. Knight of Wands, right? That type of energy. You'd be crazy how fast it really comes in. Okay, I remember one time being in Ireland, not knowing how I was going to get back to the United States, and like literally the next day, my uncle paid for my ticket. I never would have saw that coming. I never even thought about asking him, right? Because they have their own bills and stuff to pay. Stuff like that. You never know how these things are going to work out, but the Wheel of Fortune next to the Knight of Wands is saying it's going to. You're just not going to be able to control it. And the reason for that is basically so, in a way, so you can have more faith in the universe. Because once you get miracles, there's basically two kinds of ways that you really change profoundly. And it's through miracles and things, unexpected miracles, right? And also through pain. Two spectrums. So, moving on, we'll get one more card for you guys. And so we have the Knight of Cups. It's actually really funny. Not that I have any way of proving it, but in my mind I was thinking that the next card that would come up with the Knight of Cups. But I have no way of, you don't have to believe me. But anyway, Knight of Cups, right? The crow again flying above the horse. Not really on top of it, right? So this is about that fast-moving energy coming in here. It's about love and romance, okay? It's funny that it's underneath the Four of Wands, right? Two knights in one reading, I believe, in one little spread, I believe is kind of about partnership or good friends, something like that, but it's powerful enough to have two knights in one reading, especially ones where they're both charging, right? So this is also about love offer, okay? So your energy, you guys might get a proposal, there might be something like that, but essentially you guys are going to be more passionate type of loving energy, right? So somebody coming in to sweep you off your feet, you might, like, this is actually a good card for getting a kind of place, for getting a home, for finding some nice, basically having something proposed to you, again, right? So being in that energy after, after the Wheel of Fortune is suggesting that you guys would be basically finding some type of emotional fulfillment in something, right? That energy coming in, okay? Because the energy, it's energy, but there's usually something that precipitates the energy or happens along with it, right? For instance, if you get the death energy, there's probably something happening in your life that is facilitating that death energy, right? A lot of pain, depression, dark night of the soul, you'd get the death card, right? So each of these also speaks to some type of events that might be happening in your life, okay, whenever they do occur. So you can expect maybe a proposal. Doesn't have to be romantic, but it is going to be emotional of some way, meaning that it's going to emotionally make you fulfilled or happy, or in some way it's going to fulfill some type of emotional goal you've been looking for, even if it is from completely within yourself, okay? But that's very good. So again, with the masculines, going through some trials and tribulations, but getting to where they need to go, and working through the logical decisions and the courage that they need to really connect to this partnership, right? This divine connection, right? And then with you guys, trying to stand tall, trying to get through the chaos and the momentum and whatever pain you're going through, trying to really ignore all the self-hate, self-talk, negative self-talk, any other gossipers or people outside of you, the haters essentially, and just keep having this faith that's going to be renewed and things looking really, really positive for you guys over the next couple weeks, okay? So I'm going to move these cards up out of my way, and we're going to go look at the headspace now, okay? Alright, cool. I love it. So we'll start with the masculine's headspace, okay? So 3 cards, and then we'll go feminine, 3 cards, okay? So, what is the headspace for the masculines right now? And this will just give you an insight into how they're thinking about the relationship, or really what's going on inside of their mind, right? So we have the devil, so that is about codependency, karmic situations. So a lot of them might be mentally focused on a karmic situation, or they might be feeling codependent or obsessive over you, or addictions, impulses, right? Might be hard for them. You have the Four of Cups, so this is about kind of disillusionment, not really choosing you guys at this time. Again, mentally, right? And not distancing themselves from you, not focusing on the relationship. And then we have the Fool card, okay, which is about taking leaps of faith and new beginnings, right? So inside of their headspace, what you have going on here is a type of, right now with these first 2 cards, the Devil and the Four of Cups, actually going together really well. It's basically suggesting that two things, right? So if they're in a karmic situation with somebody else, right, this is saying that their mind is more on them at this time, and they're kind of ignoring their feelings for you, okay? Which might be hard to hear, hurtful, but it's certainly nothing new if you already know that they're in that type of relationship, right? And then the Fool card here, suggesting that, what they're actually thinking, what they're thinking about is that type of, they still have you in the back of their mind, right? Where they have this beginning, right? Now, if they're not in a type of karmic relationship, it's suggesting that they might be obsessive over you. It also could be both. They could be in a karmic relationship and still be obsessive over you. It really doesn't matter. It could be all of the above, right? But the idea is that they could also be thinking about you a lot, being obsessive, stalking you behind your back. You don't really know what's going on. Also, very much, intact with, or trying to be intact with that control, right? They might not have you in your life, and they made that choice, which is on them, but they still want some type of control, right? Looking for attention, okay? A lot of them might be looking to get a reaction out of you because they need that, because they want your energy to feed off of. Now, it sounds kind of narcissistic, and in a way that it is, but it's all about, keeping up appearances and stuff like that. It's not necessarily a reflection of anything to do with you, because it is, at the end of the day, their own choice. If they're in a karmic relationship, it really has nothing to do with you. It's them, okay? And then the Fool card is basically saying that always in the back of their mind, there's always this new beginning, always this leap of faith that they know, always being unable to forget about you completely. And you guys should always remember that. I mean, honestly, like, that stopped bringing me, like, hope, or that stopped bringing me faith or happiness a long time ago. Like, somebody thinking about me, that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean shit to me. It used to be like, oh, at least they're thinking about me. I honestly don't care. Like, great, you're thinking about me. Congratulations, right? I'm thinking about the time, I dropped a bag of Skittles like 6 years ago in front of a girl that I liked, and she laughed at me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? I just made that up. That never happened. But anyway, you get the idea. So let's move on to your headspace. Okay, so this is about how you guys are feeling right now, all right, or thinking. So what is the feminine headspace? So we have the Hangman, right? So that makes a lot of sense. Two major arcanas going on here. So Hangman is about waiting to make the right decision, a little bit of sacrifice, but also a lot of patience, right? But waiting, being stuck in limbo a little bit. So you guys might be waiting for things to change. Again, your own energy was going into the Wheel of Fortune, right? So that makes a lot of sense. You also have the Five of Swords. So that also thinking about the conflict, thinking about the defeat. So there might have been a lot of, arguments and stuff like that. But whatever has happened between you and your twin, there's been some defeats, right? Some mental anguish and some pain. And while it's not the Ten of Swords because you're still alive and you're still kicking, you understand the defeat. And it's funny how, the both of them are kind of like with the Four of Cups. It's like they're not taking the time to connect with their emotions about you, right? They're trying not to think about you. And with you, it's like you might be thinking about them, but what you're thinking about is kind of like negative, you're kind of like, wow, like all the shit that we went through, like what's really the point? You know what I mean? Like all of these arguments, all of these defeats, like really, like did any of it serve any purpose? What was going on? You know what I mean? Because here I am, clearly, I went through all this pain and this process, and I'm discovering myself and my dreams and on my journey, right? Trying to live each day the best that I can, but still thinking about them as well, right? Because that connection still exists within you spiritually, and it's, at this time you just might be thinking like about all the times that really didn't go well, and really kind of just like, what's the point of continuing this relationship? Which is actually kind of a positive outlook, because at the end of the day, what this relationship will teach you is that you have truly no control over it at all. And that, that at this point, you have to understand that the universe will take care of it for you. And though it's hard to accept, it's ultimately completely freeing. Because a lot of times, what feminines will do is they start to feel really good, or they start to stop feeling their divine masculine, and they don't feel that codependent attachment anymore, right? So in order to justify the attachment, the connection, they have to put themselves back in that energy, right? And so if you understand that, you might get what I'm saying here, right? So sometimes, you might be actually not thinking about them and doing fine, but then you start to think, oh, well, if I don't feel them, then maybe they're actually like not feeling me, and then you put yourself back in a type of attachment, right? Which isn't good, because the idea is to let it go and just basically be like, fine, that's enough of that, which is something that you do on your own terms, in your own way, in your own time. I'm not saying that to bash anybody, right? It's a difficult situation. But one more card. We then have the Magician, right? So this is, again, funny. Right? See how it mirrors each other a little bit? You have the Fool up there, another major arcana, and then again, another major arcana, okay? So headspace, right? So they're always thinking about, it's like they're still thinking about the leap of faith they need to take, and you're still, even at the back of your mind, despite everything, still trying to manifest them into your life, right? So it's like you have this type of negative energy right here based upon the current part of your journey that you might be in, for both of you guys. And then you have the then you have like this back of the mind type of spiritual intuition know-how, right? The Fool is like they still know intuitively that you're their new beginning, and that's actually what's going to fulfill them, right? And that they might have to take that leap of faith, or they're going to have to. And with you still know that like you're the manifester, you're the spiritual creator here, and like you still want them in your life. You still want to manifest them, that relationship, right? Because it's like it really matches up. The Devil card, that negative kind of energy codependency, so it's like that karmic energy. So they're trying not to think about you. And then with you guys, the Hangman is about being like kind of stuck in limbo and thinking about things can lead to overthinking. Then you have the Five of Swords, which is a mental type of energy, right? Which is about thinking about defeats, thinking about conflicts. Okay, so that's your guys' headspace, which I think is really, it's weird to say, but I think it's beautiful. Even when it doesn't necessarily seem good, I think anytime it reads very intuitively, I think that that's a very positive thing, because it means you guys are right where you need to be, which is better than, even if where you are right now might not be where you would like to be, the fact that you're exactly where you're supposed to be instead of on the wrong path, I think should be more comforting, because it means you're not doing anything wrong, okay? Which is great. Somebody that was raised to always think that I was doing something wrong is really nice. Okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to get vulnerable. Alright, so let's look at your heart space, okay? Or the masculine heart space we'll start with. So what is the masculine's heart space? It's probably going to be very different, as it usually is, but we'll find out. Yeah, we have the Chariot, right? So first and foremost, they're they're actually kind of like feeling the need to travel towards you, feeling very passionate about you, feeling that you are some type of new direction away from where they are. You have the Moon card, so two major arcanas. That is about illusions, not knowing what's real, not knowing what to believe, especially what's going on within their heart right now versus their mind. It's really kind of like that there's some hidden truths and some secrets, definitely things that they haven't told you. They might not have told you that they love you. And then you have the Empress card, which is literally you guys, okay? That's the divine feminine energy. So inside their heart, they're literally feeling you all the time. All the time. Regardless, right? So they have this heavy feeling about you, but there's still some secrets and some things that they haven't said, some lies, some deceit, right? Also not knowing the full truth. They might not have the information that they need, which is why their energy, the first card, you did get the Hierophant, which is about trying to understand, going through rites of passages so you can get a key, wisdom, right? Which you often have to go through things to get that, right? Otherwise you wouldn't truly understand it. It's the human way of doing things. It's very different in the 5D, of course, but things in the 5D happen instantly, but in the 3D it has to catch up to that, right? But that's a video for a different day. But yeah, so literally, still thinking about you, still feeling that pull, still feeling the call towards you inside their heart. Still, again, deceits and stuff like that, but they're always thinking about their divine feminine, that Empress, okay? So we'll go to your heart space now. So what is the heart space looking like for the feminines? So two cards came up. So this is two Wands cards, right, which is passion. So the first card is the Six of Wands, okay? Six of Wands is about reaching an objective, a goal, okay? It's also a great card for relationships, feelings getting declared, being in love, passion, okay? Starting things again, okay? Two of Wands, which is about that, you have the couple there, that little bit of union, right? But also about being able to look at the world and go anywhere. So you still see them as your type of partner, still like inside your heart, still fantasizing about them, still feeling their energy a lot. Still wanting to make amends, right, in some way, wanting to talk to them. And then you have, this makes so much sense, the Justice card. Okay, Major Arcana Justice. So that's all about balance, but also about getting the truth, and also about having what you deserve come to you from them, right? So, you know, you guys might have transitions to a lot, right? I started out as wanting a relationship. That's what I really wanted. And then I transitioned into, okay, not wanting a relationship, but wanting communication, right? So then I transitioned from communication to just wanting the truth, right? I was just like, just tell me the truth. I don't even need the relationship or for you to talk to me and commit to me. Just like, let's just get some truth. And then it sort of transitioned finally into just peace. And I was like, let me just get some peace, which then you start to realize nobody can give you peace. That's literally the one thing that you have to get from the inside. You will never, ever, ever get peace from anybody else, okay? You have to love yourself enough to give yourself peace. Okay, which I think is, once you have peace within yourself, that's when you're truly loving yourself, once you've given yourself peace. And if I'm being honest with myself, I do not feel at peace with my life. So therefore, I have work to do. And if I do not feel at peace, how can I be in a relationship? You know, it's a hard pill to swallow, something that sometimes will keep me up at night, but I'm very intelligent and hyper aware. So I will always admit to myself when I'm, you know, you can't cheat yourself, you can't cheat the universe, right? But inside your heart space again, you guys feeling very just connected, like, you know, you're still feeling them. You know, you guys again might be thinking about them a lot because of this energy, but still wanting to travel with them, still wanting to see them, okay? Because they have a Chariot, which is about travel, and you have these Wands cards here, which is about travel, right? Especially about the Two of Wands here, which is about planning and action, right? Taking some type of moves, making some type of moves. And then the Justice card, which is about you wish that the connection would just have some balance again, things would just make sense, and that you would just get what you deserve, right? Some type of truth, peace, whatever it may be. Just wanting the scales to be balanced and reset, right? So that's your guys' heart space, which I think is ultimately pretty positive, but again, it speaks a little bit differently than the head space, right? So finally, or maybe not finally, because I might pull from this, but finally, I'm going to get the outcome, okay? So this is an outcome for your relationship. Again, I know I'm doing it for this week, but keep in mind that it's probably, you know, not going to happen this week. Though it could. It could happen anytime. You know, I'm just saying. This is a general reading, right? But, you know, as I say always, 2020 is a year of union. Okay? So what is the outcome for this collective that I'm reading for this Twin Flame collective? What is the outcome? Okay, so we have the Page of Wands. So that's first and foremost saying communication. Communication. But it's good news communication, right? This crow speaking on a wand here. Shouting, I suppose. And hopefully nothing racist. And I always feel like crows are racist. I always feel like they're just saying the N-word a lot. Anyway, but, you know, speaking some type of good news, right? Something coming your way, something that you expect, or maybe don't expect, but the idea is that you're going to be getting some type of communication, okay? So that's first and foremost. So expect communication from them, but something actually real. Though, the Page of Wands is still a page, so we'll see what kind of cards I get after it. But it is about some type of communication, right? So something good coming in. You then have the King of Cups. So this is about communication from your Divine Masculine, right? So it's saying not only is it going to be from your Divine Masculine, but it's going to be from an emotional place. The King of Cups leads from the heart, thinks with the heart, feels the emotions and is secure with them, right? So it's going to be like an emotional communication, something real, okay? Now this is for this collective I'm reading for. Again, personal readings are different. I have all the information in my description box if you're interested in that. You know, it comes with free sarcasm. But this idea here for this general collective, it's going to be emotional, right? An emotional type of communication, something honest and truthful, something that will actually help balance out the connection, which I think is why you have the Justice card. And we will keep going. So you then have the Page of Cups, which is another page. It's more about friendships right there. But the Page of Cups, though a little bit slower, because this, I don't know why there's a fish in that cup, honestly. Like, I honestly don't know what the fuck is going on. But drinking from the cup is a little bit about self-love, but it does speak about a messenger, okay? So it's about getting some more communication. So it could also mean that, you know, you might be hearing from your twin in a way that is kind of weird, meaning like it might come from somebody else. Like somebody else might tell you like, hey, like I have some information for you about like this person. You know, even if like they don't even know that they're your twin. You know what I mean? Like they might be like, oh, like this person, like, you know, they were talking about you, and you'd be like, what? Like that's crazy. And positive. You know what I mean? Like it's positive. So you just might hear about them, something about them, like about you. You know what I mean? In that sense, from somebody else, very unexpected. You might not even know, but expect something like that. But also getting some type of communication from them. Definitely an offer of love. Okay, with the Page of Cups. You then have the Queen of Cups, so this is you, right? So after, that's kind of funny, three in a row, 2 pages, and then 2 court cards, man. These cards are crazy, honestly. If I didn't suppress all my emotions all the time, I'd be very excited. But anyway, Queen of Cups, so that's you guys. So it's about an emotional offer towards you guys, you being in the Queen of Cups energy, like the King of Cups, secure in your emotions, emotionally intelligent, and again, leading with your heart, following your heart, maybe thinking with your mind, you know, but following your heart, leading with your mind. But the idea here is being connected to your heart space at all times. And then, congratulations to you. You have the 3 of Cups, which is celebration, partnerships, good times, a little bit of self-indulgence, but it's about celebrating, so it's okay, right? So that's the outcome, okay? So it's a positive conclusion, so that's really good. Like there's no negative cards in this entire spread. That is really, really great. You have 4 Cups cards in a row, which is just emotions, which again, 4, again with that 4 of Wands, kind of that twin flame energy, right? 11, 11, right? Those two ones, or the couple of ones, literally, I guess. So very, very positive, okay? This reading was actually very, very good, guys. I know some of it, you know, was a little bit iffy, but ultimately, I think it was very positive. So what I'm going to do for you guys, because I can do whatever I want, is I'm going to pull from this deck, okay? From Ted Andrews. Ted Andrews sounds like my dad, just another white dad. But we're gonna see what old Teddy Bear has to say, and hopefully it'll be some good shit. Okay, so this is gonna be for you guys, just to understand where you guys are at. These are oracle cards; they're not tarot cards. What an oracle card is for the layman is I actually have no fucking idea. I guess an oracle card is something along the lines of guidance rather than cards like this, okay? Usually oracle cards has some type of message attached to it that's already pre-written, okay, rather than being intuitive. Anyway, moving on. I love this deck a lot. As much as I make fun of Ted Andrews and his boring name, I have to give this guy credit. I love this deck. I have some chocolate on the back of this. That says a lot about me, honestly. I love chocolate. Okay, so I'm gonna get like 2 or 3 cards. I'll get 3 cards for for just what you guys need to know, right? So what does the feminine collective need to know, dear spirit? What does the feminines need to know at this point in time? What's going to be happening to them over these next couple weeks? Okay, so we have the tulip, okay, as a flower. Also, you know, these pictures might mean something to you, even in your journey with your twin flame, or also, you know, your favorite flower might be a tulip. So pay attention to that type of stuff if it does resonate. You know, nothing is actually an accident. Anyway, trust in your efforts, okay? So I'll read that one. I'll read them all in a row after I'm pulling all of them. Okay, what else do they need to know? Okay, so we have 2 cards that just came out. We have Prairie, okay, Move and Adapt. Funny that I was talking about moving earlier for me, wasn't I? And then the Gardenia, which is Emotional Protection, okay? I don't think I've ever actually seen a Gardenia. That can't be true. I've definitely seen them. Don't remember the last time, though. But that's not relevant. So, I'm going to read them, okay? So, let me read the tulip, okay? So, I'll start with that, which is trust in your efforts, okay? But I can already imagine it has something to do with trusting in yourself. All right, so I'm just going to read it fully, okay? So, tulips are one of the most recognized flowers on the planet. You may have been feeling that your efforts were for naught, but they have been recognized and the rewards are coming. Trust that all your hard work and efforts will reap rewards. The time is coming. Stay focused in your efforts and continue discriminating where you apply them. Everything is coming together for you. The significance of your efforts, the time involved, and the people and things you have had to deal with throughout these endeavors will soon become known. Okay? So, just a little synopsis there. Basically saying that the things that you're going through are actually about to come true. And again, with that star card, right? It matches up quite perfectly. You know, there is that energy right around the corner. You know, it might not feel like it at this time, but by the end of the year, you know, you guys are getting ready to, excuse me, to build your empire, which is what you are really building, right? Again, Rome wasn't built in one day, right? I know that's a cliche, but it's very, very accurate for how successful Rome was for quite a long time. But again, it wasn't built in one day, and I had to go through a lot of stuff to get that going, right? So trust in that, okay? So prairie, which is somewhere up in here. There it is. So prairies are vast open spaces, very different from meadows and fields. Yeah, no shit. They are places of extremes. Summers hot and dry, and winters cold and wet. Prairies teach us how to adapt to extreme conditions. This is the time to make any moves you have thought about. They may not be easy, and you may have to do some serious adapting, but ultimately the moves will work for you. Abundance and contentment will follow. New opportunities for journeys are ahead. Do not give up hope. They hold great promise once the journey is made. So again, I feel called to say if you guys are planning any kind of journey, right? I know I was talking about Ireland and stuff like that, but also just moving in general because I don't know if I'll end up in Ireland. But right, for me, for you guys, it's basically saying the same thing. You know, whatever journey you guys have to make, it's going to be successful, even if it is just a vacation. I am definitely planning on taking a vacation in December. I don't know where the fuck I'm going to go, but I'm going to take 2 weeks off, maybe go to a cabin in the woods and just write poetry. I don't care what it is, but I need to just be away from society. Once I've completed the cycle, once my college semester ends December 14th or something like that, my next semester doesn't start until like January something or other. I'm done. I'm out for 2 weeks. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. I don't care if I got to embezzle money from the company that I'm starting. I'm out. Okay. Same thing for you guys, right? So whatever journeys you guys may be planning, trust in it. It's gonna work out very successful, even if it is only maybe a day-long journey. Okay. The idea is if you have to do something, you're planning to do something, trust it. It will work. Okay. So let's move on to gardenia, which is the last one. If gardenia is your favorite flower, you should let me know because I've never heard anybody say that gardenia is their favorite flower. I've had a lot of like lilies and tulips and shit, but never gardenia. Guess nobody cares. All right, so emotional protection. Gardenia is a very protective flower toward our emotional being. It strengthens the aura so that we are less impacted emotionally by people and events around us. I have often recommended it to healers, counselors, and such to prevent becoming emotionally tied to their clients' issues and problems. When gardenia appears, you will see a shift in your emotional well-being. You will become clearer, and there will be an increasing sense of peace. Issues that you have been concerned about, especially with friends and loved ones, will calm. Focus on your own emotional health. Trust in your thoughts and perceptions. They are much clearer and becoming free of the emotional fog. Right, so the idea here, guys, again with that self-love energy about being able to see things clearly and find your own type of peace. And I just wanted to, and also, of course, you guys are protected. But what I did want to say was that it might actually help to surround yourself with some of these flowers, right? Especially if they are intuitive messages for you at this time, okay? So, all that being said, that is my journey. Hopefully I get more consistent with these videos. I'm looking to do a separation video this week, so look out for that, about twin flame separation, the truth about that. I'm going to try and get that done Wednesday, okay? So look forward to that if you want to, I guess. And again, any information, private readings and stuff like that is going to be in the description box. And I hope this resonated with you. And you guys have a wonderful Sunday, all right? So I will talk to you guys soonish. All right.